Over the years, we have been hearing about how Swift is going to adopt Ripple and XRP and move trillions of dollars per day with XRP. And, I do think that although that narrative sounds great on paper, it's not really true at this point, considering the fact that when we really look at what's happening right now in this space, there is no mention of XRP tied back to Swift at this moment. But I do want to go over a few things, and I actually want to uncover a few things for you guys as well that you might find very interesting if you do hold XRP. So let's actually start off with, of course, this post here from Crypto Roth, which we do have fact, stablecoin sandwich. Convera builds stablecoin sandwich payment settlement model with Ripple. Begin with fiat, stablecoin bridge for settlement, ends with fiat. Breaking scoop. June 16th, Convera integrates Swift for cross-border payments in and out. The supporting links, here we have the announcement from Convera with the stablecoin sandwich. This is Ripple and Convera empower stablecoin enabled cross-border payments, which is obviously, a huge push with, one of the bigger names in finance. And then we do also have the Swift integration, which happened quickly after, because this was on March 31st of this year. This was June 16th, just recently, modernizing cross-border payments for financial institutions with, of course, Swift. And, when we think about this, this is awesome to see. However, how does this involve XRP? Well, the main thing that we look at is Ripple and what they are doing with stablecoins right now. There's going to be so many different stablecoins right now with the stablecoin sandwich method. Like everyone's like, oh, XRP is useless because you don't need XRP with the stablecoin bridge. And yeah, for the most part, that is true. But when it comes back to what, we know with stablecoins, there's not just going to be a US dollar stablecoin. There's going to be so many different ones, which requires a neutral bridge currency. No stablecoin. But we do have here from Chartner TA, probably nothing. Ripple, Convera, Swift. Convera unites Ripple and Swift into a multi-rail payment engine, now backing traditional Swift messaging rails with Ripple's on-chain stablecoin sandwich model and liquidity. The mutual aim, modernize cross-border payments. So yeah, I do think that this is very interesting because, these are, like, Convera is a Ripple partner, and we know that they are tapped in with cross-border payments. And then quickly after, we have modernizing cross-border payments with Swift. Is Ripple exposed to this? Is Ripple going to be utilized within this? We have no idea. We don't know exactly how this is going to work or so. All we really know at this point is that this is all based around, of course, improving cross-border payments. In my opinion, with what we know right now around payments and how, payments are changing, stablecoins are like the main focus here. So yes, ROUSD and stablecoins within like Ripple specifically can definitely be tapped in here. We also know that Ripple payments could definitely be utilized with Swift. That's definitely a possibility, but there's no confirmation as of yet with this. But Ripple has been on a tear recently with cross-border payment initiatives. For an example, on June 16th, we did see Ripple has taken an equity stake in the Flutterwave, now valued at $3.3 billion, with the deal including integration of ROUSD and also XRP Ledger into the African payments giant's cross-border infrastructure. And this is what gets me thinking about like the Convera thing. Like, wouldn't XRP and the XRP-L be tapped in here? I mean, the announcement with Convera is all based around crypto-enabled payment and treasury solutions. So I would assume that XRP and the XRP-L will be tapped in here, and then also the treasury solutions with Ripple Treasury, which is G Treasury, which also, by the way, mixes in digital assets like ROUSD and even XRP. So I do think that there's definitely exposure to XRP and the XRP-L with this announcement, which technically means that, yeah, considering the fact that Convera is using those technologies with Ripple, they could definitely be exposed even through the Swift announcement. But until there's a confirmation, we cannot say for certain if that's the case. But a lot of Ripple partners, like even Thunes, for an example, recently launched a big initiative for real-time payments. It's a big shout to Smoke Dog for this. We have Ripple partner Thunes announces launch of real-time payments in the US with Tier 1 bank connectivity. Today, global payments provider Thunes announced the expansion of its real-time payment service into the United States. This expansion became possible through a direct connection to a tier 1 financial institution. Ripple maintains a strategic partnership with Thunes. This gives XRP another clear path for use by tier 1 banks in the US. Thunes also holds money transmitter licenses in all 50 states, just like Ripple. These licenses allow both companies to establish direct institutional grade connections to local clearing systems. The Ripple partnership with Thunes grants XRP direct access to a massive global network spanning 140 countries and more than 90 currencies. Reaching billions of mobile wallets, this is a major step to scale XRP's use globally. And yeah, this was the announcement from Thunes on June 3rd. And then also in terms of the announcement with Ripple, that got announced back in September of last year. Now, we do know this is also based around cross-border payments specifically. They don't really tell us exactly what they are going to do here, but I would assume that it's with Ripple Payments. And with Ripple Payments, a lot of people think that XRP is not plugged into Ripple Payments at all. But if you read up on Ripple Payments, we know XRP is still tied back to that and exposed to Ripple Payments still. Now, on top of Thunes, we also have this post from Chartner TA where there will be signs, because also to build on top of Thunes, we do have the announcement with Ripple. And then quickly after, we have Thunes bring stablecoin payouts to 11,500 banks via Swift connectivity, bridging traditional finance and digital assets. This is from March 17th of this year. So yes, when we look at what Thunes is doing, they are already announced with Ripple. And then just a few months later, they announce with Swift. The same exact song and dance that Convera did. I don't believe in coincidences at all. I do think that these are aligned. Every single one of these announcements look aligned completely. But don't forget Ripple Treasury, because again, Ripple Treasury, which was originally G Treasury, is an official member of the Swift Certified Partner Program. Big shout out to Bank XRP for this. We have what this means. Ripple Treasury connects directly to the Swift network. Corporate users can manage Swift messaging and blockchain-based liquidity, XRP, ROUSD in one place. It's not replacing Swift, it's integrating blockchain into the world's largest financial messaging system for faster hybrid settlement. And yeah, we don't need to replace Swift. We don't even need to focus on Swift. But if we are, like, this would be the connection with Ripple Treasury. And remember, Swift is a partner of Ripple Treasury. But there's 13,000 connected banks to Ripple Treasury. It's larger than the Swift network. Ripple already won. And I stated this even in a recent video as well. But there is no, connection back to XRP. Vet_X0 made a post back in March stating that Swift is not using XRP, nor do we need Swift to use XRP. And we don't. Banks and institutions will leapfrog and bypass legacy systems like Swift that just woke up to the idea of blockchain-enabled finance. XRP or other similar blockchain settlement and messaging collapses into one single transaction. So what you're seeing is Swift messaging layer trying to get into blockchain to complement the settlement layer. But if everyone has access to crypto, anyone can do what Swift does. And yeah, this is true. People forget that Swift doesn't, they don't settle at all. They don't clear or settle transactions. They are strictly a messaging layer, which means Swift could integrate a blockchain-based solution into its, system. They're trying to do this right now with, 50 plus banks. But the main thing that we look at is how is all of that going to connect? How are we, going to have that interoperability? And, even Swift is trying to announce things with that right now. We even have over here. Is everyone talking about the same thing when they say interoperability? It's a word we hear everywhere in conversations about tokenization, digital assets, instant payments, and blockchain-based infrastructure, but its meaning often shifts depending on who you ask. At Swift, interoperability is about more than connectivity. It's about delivering choice and convenience safely and at scale. By reducing fragmentation and complexity across the financial system, we can help enable a more seamless global experience. Now, within this, they're still, talking about tokenized deposits. They're talking about tokenization. They're talking about blockchain itself. We look at what's happening here, and we're just seeing the convergence. We don't need Swift to come out and say, oh, hey, by the way, guys, we're settling on XRP. We don't need Swift to come out and say, oh, we're partnering with Ripple. Like, we already have the exposure. We already see the connections back to like G Treasury and things like that. At this point, Swift is trying to keep up. They're trying to play catch up. And, we don't need Swift to use XRP. We don't need Swift to partner with Ripple. Just like Vet is saying here, they're trying to stay relevant and complement the settlement layer using this technology, because they realize that this technology is the next major step in terms of like innovating finance as a whole, and it's the next technology to actually upgrade finance as a whole as well. And what this reminds me back to is this video clip actually with Ashish Birla. Now, the sound is a little bit low. I do apologize. But listen closely to what Ashish Birla is stating here in terms of, their response to Swift.
Is the aim to replace Swift?
Well, I think we have bigger ambitions than replacing Swift. So remember, to move money internationally, there's two components. There's the messaging component, but then you actually have to move the funds. That's not what Swift does. Swift only does the messaging. So they help banks communicate with each other around the world, but the settlement is done out of band. The great thing, I think, was really, really innovative about crypto and RippleNet is that we do both. We've modernized both. So using Swift for messaging is like WhatsApping using a fax machine today. So we modernize that using APIs. It's real time. But then we also do the settlement. There's not another solution out there that does both instantly like RippleNet. And so, our solution is now, a lot bigger than what Swift does. I think Swift is going to be around for 5 years. It takes a long time to change like the entire banking system. I mean, upgrading the mainframe at BNY Mellon is probably a couple $100 million to do to modernize that so that they can move off of Swift. So I think Swift is here to stay. I think the most innovative companies today are going to move off of Swift, and they're going to use modern technologies like crypto and what we're building at RippleNet. And that's really what's helping us grow. There is really no other alternative to Swift that's comprehensive and does more than the one that we built on top of crypto. So I'm excited about what's ahead for us.
And yeah, I mean, this is true. Like, when we think about what's happening here, I really haven't been focusing too much on like what Swift has been doing. Like, yeah, sure, they're collaborating with, major banks on cross-border payments and stuff like that. And it's great. Like, there's a lot of connections to these banks with Ripple and stuff, but I would honestly assume that like in this new world of finance, like Swift is probably going to be just like a back-end player. Like, they're not going to be a dominant name the way that they are today. Like, yes, they still will be, around. They will still be a messaging, platform, but the main star of the show will be the ones that actually upgrade the settlement and clearing side of payments. If Swift wants to continue integrating with, names to upgrade the messaging side, sure, that's great. But at this point, like, they are trying to keep up with, these companies like Ripple and, the other companies in the space that are really kind of pushing cross-border payments, forward, because they know that at this point, like, it's adapt or die, essentially. And that's also why you are starting to see so many big banks doing this too. Like, that's why you have a lot of banks tied back to these initiatives, or like you see like a lot of big banks launching stablecoin initiatives, tokenized deposit initiatives, or even, just like diving on into tokenization as a whole, because they know that this is the future. And if they don't start innovating now, well, they will essentially be replaced by this technology. And that's why they're trying to get ahead of it now. They're trying to become, a big player in this game. And it's only a matter of time until, every single name around finance, it doesn't even matter what size they are. Like, Swift has 11,500 institutional players tied back to it. They're now innovating with this technology. Like, if Swift, the DTCC, and names like that are getting behind this technology, expect every single name in finance that at least wants to survive, because it's either adapt or die at this point. But every big player is going to be moving in on this space. I would say for the next 12 months, you're going to see big announcement after big announcement of, this bank or that bank or this, payment organization jumping on, the crypto train, because, it's now or never. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely like, subscribe, notifications on, because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, Nick, thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.